This is the 5-minute version of my Final Fantasy XV review. If you want more detail than this, click on the link in the description for my full breakdown of every element in the game. Also note that a copy was received from PlayAsia for review purposes. If there's one word I'd use to describe FF15 Broforce Max, it would be surprisingly beauty. Square Enix put 10 long years into the facelift of this iconic franchise, transforming it from a lower-key turn-based RPG to a loud and boastful action-oriented one. It's done this by reshuffling the iconic elements with a stylish makeover, taking mechanics like magic and specialized party members, and transforming them into something that's still Final Fantasy at its heart, just not exactly the girl you remember from the days of high school. 15 will wow you first with its presentation, as the huge creatures and sprawling environments will sweep you off your feet, as you stared slack-jawed with the amount of detail packed into every collection of pixels. Marching down the runway to a stunning soundtrack filled with great orchestra pieces and angelic voices, 15 has the tools to model with the best of the industry. But if 15 wants to win the big beauty pageant, it's gotta bring some talent to the table. And the new action-oriented combat does have the raw skills to make it stand out. The ability to warp from enemy to enemy and pull out different weapons to deal with enemy resistances will get the judges to notice, as the core combat still has that strategy element that the franchise is known for. When 15's motivated to do its best for its fans combat-wise, it can really be the belle of the ball. It may put its flashy presentation over everything else to a detriment at times, but 15 still captures the feeling of David versus Goliath, as the highlights of its performance surround taking down and taming larger-than-life beasts who will tear it apart with a couple of hits, and force 15 to put on the best show it ever could. 15 does prove that it's fun to be around, as the combat has that addictive element to it, and it's complemented by an assortment of mini-games and side quests that set the stage for 100 hours of gameplay, even if several of those quests end up getting repetitive. You'll never get tired of taking pictures of 15, as each one will tell a tale in of itself. However, it's true that 15's manager focused a little bit too heavy on the MMO-like mechanics in several of those quest lines, as asking to go on the 100th hunt without a lot of variation does make it feel like 15's act has become a little too standard. Sadly, however, 15 has a dark secret, as it's been caught addicted to bad implementations of certain gameplay mechanics that it's become dependent on. Its abuse of the item system to get through huge fights is sad to see, as injecting potions and elixirs like a heroin junkie may help raise 15's arms in victory at the end of the day, but you'll be left wondering if it really needed it. It doesn't help that 15 has a tendency to make it all about its looks and the elements of its journey, despite the fact that its fans just really want to get to the good parts of the performance. You'll spend hours and hours walking for really no good reason to get to the next fight, and that's after you wait for 15 to show up, as it's always seemingly late for its own performance. Where 15 truly stumbles, however, is that unique story to draw the empathy and sympathy of the judges and the crowd. The phrase "beauty is only skin deep" doesn't apply to 15's backtail. In fact, it's the underlying elements of side quest writing and world building that truly show that 15 has the heart of an epic tale. But that tale stumbles on the runway and breaks a heel, as its inconsistent pacing and lack of answers to main plot threads end up docking it points in the overall competition. 15 does stumble enough to not take the award for the Game of the Universe for 2016. However, it's still put in a strong showing that people will remember, and it all sums up to an 87 out of 100, meaning the game is a solid purchase unless you're hurting for cash. As for the enhancers and dehancers with my regular scoring system, here they are. Apply them to see if 15 is even more or less of a beauty for your own personal tastes, and refer to the review guide in the description below if you so need. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, keep on gaming.